stay tuned because for the next 60 minutes, Motorsports Unlimited is on the air. Hi, I'm Jerry Bryant, and these are the lovely ladies of motorsports. And all this hour, we're going to have 60 minutes of action-packed excitement. All kinds of exciting things will happen. And we got the famous Bill Wildt, and we got all kinds of other good stuff that's happening all this hour. Motorsports Unlimited, 60 minutes of non-stop action. So let's go to the studio right now.
Hi, I'm Gina Lisa.
I'm Kim Donahue.
I'm Lyle Ann Seeger, and we want to welcome you to Motorsports Unlimited Part 180.
Today we're going to show you Mopar Mania.
That means we're also going to find out what Mopar is.
That's right, Kim. We're going to learn about Mopars, six-packs, Hemis, and a lot more.
But first, by special request of Oakbrook Terrace, Mayor Richard Sorello, Bill meets some folks from England.
And is surprised to find that cruising is alive and well in England.
Let's meet these special guests and find out why Mayor Sorello wanted our audience to meet them.
I am starting an interview here today that I'm not exactly sure why I'm doing this except for one thing. The mayor of Oakbrook Terrace said, Bill, I want you to start with my friends from England. So we're going to start with his friends from England, and they're going to explain it as we go along. First of all, the owner of this car is?
Bob Talley.
Bob, welcome to Motorsports Unlimited, and I understand we have some folks from England here?
Yes, we do.
Okay, can you introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm Graham Arno from Essex, England.
That sounds like a German accent.
No, and it's not Australian. That is English London accent.
Okay, and you are?
I'm Andy Woodcock from Essex, England.
Sounds like another German. Was the German accent similar?
No, definitely not.
You sure it's not Italian?
No, definitely not.
I'm only teasing. And you are?
I'm Mick Fulbrook from Tilbury in Essex.
Now wait a minute, say that one again.
I'm Mick Fulbrook from Tilbury in Essex.
Now this guy sounds like he's English. This sounds like an English accent. It almost sounds like I'm talking to the Beatles. And let me reach over. You are?
I'm John Rusnak from Naperville. We're hosting our visitors here.
Okay, when you say hosting, what exactly does that mean?
Brought them out to the Mopar Nationals and gave them the grand tour of the car sites in the Midwest, and brought them to the show here.
Okay, does this make any sense at all to you? What's going on here today?
Oh no, this is something I've never ever experienced before in my life. We have Mopars in England, but nothing like this at all. This is great.
Okay, but England is a big car enthusiast place. Do they have shows and shopping malls and things like that?
Yeah, we have shows, but it's a mixture of all American cars. Never as much Mopar as this.
Okay, so Mopar is something you guys would be conscious of, though?
Maybe so, yeah. It's a lot of guys don't like taking their cars out much now, but I think after today, they'll probably take them out even more if we get this back home.
Okay, I've got to ask the question. Do you guys have a hit record out?
Oh yeah, definitely.
It seems that's what the British invasion is all about, is always about music. What do you think of this activity?
Yes, it's excellent, yeah. We run the Chrysler Club in England, Pentastar Power UK, which is the only Chrysler club in England.
You know, it almost sounds like you're speaking a foreign language, and I thought we were all supposed to be speaking English. Try that again. What company do you run?
No, Pentastar Power UK. It's an English Mopar club.
Oh, is that right? So this is sort of kind of a trip to America to see how we do it over here?
That's right, yeah, to bring all your cars home to England.
Oh, don't do that to us. These are in short supply enough. Okay, now that we've met all you guys, and I hope you're enjoying yourselves. I hope you're having a good time over here. And yeah, I'm sure that these guys can tell you there are car shows, literally 3-4 a week? Not just Mopar, but...
There's always, typically every weekend there's something going on. So.
Right. Now, have you gone to any of the car cruising places at all?
Yeah, we went to Duke's last night, which is in, where is it, Bob?
Bridgeview, 79th and Harlem.
Right, 79th and Harlem, but Duke's is one of the car cruising places. We've also got Strats in Franklin Park. We've got Flukies and Niles and Rock and Roll McDonald's. There's a number of them, and each one of them takes a different day, and they do car shows, and hopefully you guys got the idea of that.
Yeah, we have a couple of big cruises in England. We have the Chelsea cruise, which is in the centre of London, and we have the McDonald's cruise, which is one of the very few McDonald's drive-in, and we get a whole bunch of cars there.
Well, when you say
sound American.
No, you know, I was going to say when you said you had the Chelsea cruise, I love that kind of talk, and then you said the McDonald's cruise, that sounded too domestic. I am curious, when you say something like the Chelsea cruise, and you were saying where you were from, that sounds very foreign and sort of exotic to me. Does Chicago and Detroit and Pittsburgh, does that sound exotic if you're in England or no?
It's pretty much the same as London, Chicago, you know, big buildings, but the Chelsea cruise is the biggest cruise in England, and unlike America where you've got different states, the whole of the country goes to this cruise, and from Europe as well, and it's the last Saturday of the month, and it's a big cruise, and we get a lot of cars there, a lot of muscle cars.
So I guess our audience can tell that car cruising also exists in Europe.
Yeah, definitely does.
Okay, now let's get to the important part. Tell us a little bit about the car that we're standing in front of.
It's a 1967 Dart GT convertible, 273 engine, automatic transmission. Car was came out of Michigan about last December. It's been basically gone through since then. Really meant more to be a driver than a show car.
And why do you do it?
I don't know, to be perfectly honest, but we have a lot of fun.
You give me the task that I've got. I'm supposed to be explaining motorsport and all these activities to the general public, and here we've got a guy that's doing it, and I ask him why, and he doesn't know.
Well, you get caught up in it, I think, as much as anything, and the events are worth the effort. If all you did was build a car, it wouldn't be any fun. But
right. So you're saying it's the people and the camaraderie and all the rest of it.
Real good people and good events and things to do in the summertime. Once you get the car built, it's pretty cheap entertainment. But getting the car built might break the bank.
Okay, thanks for spending a little bit of time with us. I want to go over and chat with the girls for a minute. We can't spend too long on this show without getting back to the girls. This is Marche Harmon, and Marche, you haven't been with us for a while, and this is your first time on location, right?
Yes, this is the first time.
Right. As a matter of fact, the reason we invited you specifically to do this show is because we understand that you are our Mopar expert.
Not necessarily, no.
Okay, well, let's say this way. You might be the one of the girls that is able to define what Mopar means.
Well, I'm not sure. That's my question for you. That's what you'd have to tell me.
Okay, well, that's okay. We've got somebody we can rely on here for sure. We've got Phil Donahue's daughter, Kim Donahue. I shouldn't say that. I'm only teasing. This is Kim Donahue. Kim, Mopar, what does it mean?
I have no idea.
Gina, you are you deliver parts for Franklin Park Auto. For sure you know what Mopar is.
Put me on the spot now, okay. Well, I'm not too sure. I know it has to do with Chrysler and maybe the power of the engine.
Christine, Mopar?
Those are the...
wait a minute, I think you know. I'm going to stop you. Lyle Ann Seeger, you're here by special request today of the mayor of Oakbrook Terrace because he said that you know what Mopar is.
No, he didn't.
I swear he did.
He did not.
Okay, go ahead and tell us. What does Mopar mean?
Well, I know that it has to do with Chrysler, and outside of that, I don't know what it means.
Christine, tell her.
Those are the parts for all Chrysler products.
Right. That's
See,
what
she
I
knew it all along.
Well, let's tell our audience.
Chrysler part, but I just, yeah.
Well, not exactly. All of the auto companies have their own parts divisions. Well, they have their own parts divisions for producing parts. For example, Ford Motor Company, for many years, it was Fomoco. Ford Motor Company, the first two letters of each, Fomoco, and all of their parts were Fomoco. Just very much like General Motors is Delco Remy, and Chrysler's was always Mopar. I'm presuming because it was motor parts, Mopar. In any event, when you're inside, when you're into Chrysler Corporation cars, Chrysler products and everything, it's like a little inside language. You're into Mopars, and that's really all. It's just a little bit of inside language. You knew that, right? She's nodding her head now like she knew. She didn't say it before. Now, Marche, does that make sense?
Yes, it does now that you've explained it all.
Okay, the way we're going to do this show is we're going to start with some of the early stuff and then work our way up to what, Christine? Tell me. Oh, come on, Chrysler cars. We're working our way up. Let me say it this way. We are working our way up to the mighty...
Hemi.
All right, the mighty Hemi. Folks, get out of the camera shot. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Bill said later that he wished he would have thought to ask what kind of cars participated in cruising in England.
He presumed they would be Jaguars, MGs, Austins, Rileys, etc. However, after he thought about it, it seems as though these folks might have been talking about American cars in England.
I guess the only way to really find out would be to do a show from a cruising place in England.
Now let's return to Oakbrook Terrace Tower and look at a very unusual street rod based in a 1934 Plymouth.
and Chris, welcome back. And with me is, would you tell us your name?
Jerry Lane,
Jerry, where are you from?
Elk Grove Village.
You have a marvelous car here. Tell us something about it.
Well, it's a 34 Plymouth Coupe, all steel body. Has a 350 Chevy, which we're the Mopar show, so I'm catching a lot of slack there, you know. Has a Mustang front end, Corvette rear end. We drive it everywhere.
Did you build the car?
We bought the rolling chassis. My wife and I did the rest of it.
Oh, that's marvelous. Okay, Bill, you want to come in now?
Okay, I've got, matter of fact, if we can get, maybe get our cameraman, Chuck, can you kind of like pan to the right here a little bit so we can see some of the folks here? Just go right ahead and pan over to the right so we can see some. That's how you get, everybody's running away now, like they don't want to be on the camera. Okay, then you can come on back here, Chuck. You can come back over here then. And I just wanted the audience to see that we've got a whole bunch of people that want me to get on you about the fact that this is a Mopar show and you've got a Chevy engine in this thing.
Well, I've caught slack all day, but I got big shoulders. I told them I have a 318 at home, but it was raining. I couldn't put it in for the show, you know.
Oh, you are cruel. Just so our audience understands this, that this show is for all Chrysler products today, for Mopars, and I must say that this is a very unusual basis for a street rod using a 34 Plymouth rather than a traditional Fords. Would you agree?
Oh, very much so. You know, they're probably 1 to 100 when you go to a show you find a Plymouth.
Yeah, it's very unusual, but again, you felt that a street rod had to have a Chevy engine, though.
Well, I think so. To me, it's kind of like a grandma and apple pie Chevrolet engine.
Bill?
Yes, Chris.
I suppose that they have a voting system here, right?
That's correct.
Would it detract from the voting the fact that he had a Chevy in it instead of some sort of a Chrysler engine?
Well, he's sort of lucky that they haven't beaten him up and thrown him out already.
That's true, but here they have a street rod class, so we're classified as a street rod. So street rod, you can do about anything you want.
Okay, did you do any of this work to this car?
Oh, yes. Yeah, like I say, we bought the rolling chassis when I got the car. It had the rear end and the transmission. My wife and I did it. Started last October on it, and that was our winter project.
Well, I'm going to tell you something. You really can accomplish a lot in the winter. This is really something special. Kim, what do you think of this one?
I like it. Like the color.
Okay, I'm always interested. Now, you're very young. You're only 18, right?
Yeah.
And I'm always interested in what young people would think of something like this. One of the things I hope our audience notices as we have been doing these car shows from Stratz and from other places is that the ages change as we deal with the different cars. For example, this gentleman is more my age, and as we get into like the 70s cars, we'll be doing at the next Stratz car show. Those are all very young guys, and so as a young girl, I'm interested if you can really appreciate something like this.
Yes, I can. I love old cars.
Okay, girls, did you hear the questions I was talking about? What do you think of this one?
It's great. It's great. Matter of fact, I would like to pull this out myself.
Rylan?
Stunning.
Okay, so it's not really something then that really separated by age. Anyone of any age can appreciate this. Okay, Christine, I want you to look over there at that camera. And I want you to say, don't go away, folks. We'll be right back.
Don't go away, folks. We'll be right back.
From an early Mopar street rod, let's shift gears and enjoy an outstanding cruisin' convertible.
Riding with the wind, it's a Saturday night. Things going smooth, not a worry in sight. Checking out the hot spots in a mean machine.
Hi, I'm Kim and we're here with
Dominic Zambuto, Jr.
Dominic, and where are you from?
Hickory Hills.
Hickory Hills, okay. How about we bring Bill in, ask you a little bit about your car.
How about it, girls? Did she bail out on that one real quick, huh? What do you think? That's because she's new and this is her first one, and we want to give her... What? Wait a minute, Chris.
You made it too easy for her.
That's all right. It'll get harder. You did great, Kim. I didn't get your first name?
Dominic Zambuto.
Okay, Dominic, what year Plymouth?
1960.
Okay, 1960 Plymouth. Now, I don't know, will you be offended if I say, you know, this is a Chrysler product show today, Mopar show. One of the things that Chrysler has done over the years is they have had some engineering...
Over restyling.
Well, engineering miracles and some interesting styling, shall we say?
Yeah, I've read a lot about that, especially this car.
Yeah, this is a pretty, how should we say, peculiar example of a...
Unique.
Okay, I want to just back up a little bit. Kim, back right up, because I want the audience to see these fins. This is a particular thing. You know, we talk all the time about the 59 Cadillac tail fins. These aren't exactly small potatoes.
No, it's the last year for Plymouth for fins, too, so they figured they'd go out with big ones.
Boy, they certainly did go out with... In any event, it was a peculiarly styled car, but now it's interesting. As we look back, some of the more peculiar cars are the more interesting ones to own.
Popular cars. you listen to the write-ups on the original cars, and they were downplayed because of the styling. But now people like the more peculiar-looking cars. So.
Right, because there was some uniqueness. Now come on up to the front of the car with me. And Kim, you can come on too. We don't want the girls out of the pictures for very long here on Motorsports Unlimited. I want the audience to understand a little something about this. Now, what engine did this car have in it?
This is...
and Rust, you'll never be a movie star if you step out of that camera shot.
Okay, this is the standard V8 engine, 318 polyspherical head.
Okay, I want to stop you right there. This is going to be interesting, and we'll do this to needle the Chevy fans a little bit, okay? This car had Chrysler's polyspherical V8 in it, and what the polyspherical V8 was, Chrysler recognized they started with the hemispherical head engine from 1951, and they kept pursuing this thing until 1957 when the costs, which weren't offset by what they were getting out of sales out of this thing, it really wasn't worth it. So their first V8 attempt was a polyspherical V8, which some called a semi-Hemi, in that they canted the intake valves a little towards the intake runner and the exhaust valve toward the exhaust runner, called it a polyspherical combustion chamber. And do you know what engine uses that today?
No, I don't. Not today.
The big block Chevys.
Oh, okay.
Yes, as a matter of fact, when the big block Chevys first came out in the 396 form, they were often called the semi-Hemi, and that was because it was, again, like Chrysler called it a polyspherical engine, it was the shape of the combustion chamber.
Right.
In any event, now Chrysler eventually dropped, do you remember what year they dropped the poly engine?
Yeah, 66. The first year for it was 55, and the last year for it was 66.
Okay, so Chevy fans, apparently they learned something from Chrysler? What do you think?
Sure. This was, this is Chrysler's own answer to the Hemi. It's a cheaper version of the Hemi. So Chrysler taught GM something about polyspherical heads.
Okay, it's a great car, but it's a great cruise car.
Oh, yeah, it's fun. It's like the sign says, it's good for the sandy shores.
Okay, well, thanks for spending a little bit of time with us. We've got a bunch more to look at. And as a matter of fact, Chuck, if you can, I'd like you to swing over and get a camera shot here. This is a car that we've had on our show previously. I don't see the owner. Oh, here he is. Can you come on out here for a second? We had you on our show from Oakbrook Terrace, right?
Right.
Okay, and you are?
Dominic Zambuto Sr.
Ah, so that's what I was getting at. These cars are in the family.
Right, and there's one more over there, but he's in another category.
Okay, I've got to ask the obvious question. Why Chrysler products?
That's the only thing, isn't there? I mean...
come on.
Let's put it this way. When you own a Chevy, it's like everybody wearing the same shorts, all polka dot. But when you got a Mopar, you got something different.
So the fact that it's different, and in fact, let's face it, I've always had a little theory about, Chrysler Corporation is obviously the smallest of the big three. I think it's much more difficult for them to have an impact. I've often said, this car here, as peculiar as the styling is, and even at the time it was considered peculiar, I have a feeling if Chevy made it, it would have been popular instead of standard.
That's right. All they had to do was have the name Chevy on it. People just fell for Chevy. I don't know. They got brainwashed.
It's the biggest corporation on the face of this planet, and just sheer numbers and size, I think, gives substance and credibility.
Oh, that's definitely true.
Okay, folks, I wanted you to re-meet this gentleman again. I'm going to step out of the camera shot as we go. Kim, why don't you step out over here? Now, it wasn't hard doing the interview, was it?
A little. Nervous.
You were nervous, were you really?
Yeah.
It didn't show at all. I want you to look at the camera now. I want you to say, don't go away, folks. We'll be right back.
Don't go away, folks. We'll be right back.
Chevy, they're gonna race, burning rubber and blowing off steam. Got the top down music on, making a scene. Goes on every summer, they cruise these streets.
Now let's shift gears again and go from lightweight Plymouths and Dodges to a fine example of a big Chrysler letter car. Hi, welcome back to Motorsports. I'm Lyle Ann Seeger, and you are?
David Stark from Manitowoc, Wisconsin.
Okay, and what type of car do you have here today?
This is a 1962 Chrysler 300H, high-performance Chrysler.
And did you do all the restoration on it?
No, I did not. I bought the car as you see it in 1980.
Oh, okay. Bill, do you have any questions for him?
I sure do, Lyle Ann, and I shouldn't put you guys at this big disadvantage because this is a car more from my era. This is when they made cars.
That is true, very true. High performance at its finest.
Right, these were big, heavy cars, but nonetheless high performance. Going as far back as, for example, 57 Chrysler 300 with a 392 Hemi and dual quads was quite a performer, even at its 5,000-pound weight.
This is very true. All the Chrysler letter cars were high-performance cars. They were like a rich man's high-performance car to take the place of like a Corvette at the time.
Absolutely. Now, I'm going to be right back, so don't go away because I want the girls to see if they can spot something here. Now, Gina, Lisa, as a person that delivers auto parts all the time, when you look underneath the hood here, what's the first thing you notice?
I noticed 2 carburetors.
Very good. In fact, 2 4-barrel carburetors, and that was factory for these Chrysler 300s. These were big, fast, cruising boats. Make no mistake about it. These things could get up and go.
Yeah, looks like it.
Yeah, it is unusual in today's context to see big, heavy cars as performance cars, but make no mistake, the Chrysler 300 was just that. All right, you probably didn't hear me over there. I was just explaining that the car has dual quads on it, and by the way, I didn't see, is it a 413 or 440?
Yes, it's 413 with twin 4s. It has factory 380 horsepower. It had mechanical lifters and mechanical valve lifters. It was truly high performance.
Right, no question about it. We don't tend to think of these big, luxurious automobiles today anymore as high-performance cars. But in fact, in the mid and late 50s, there were several that were like this.
Yes, all the Chrysler letter cars were fast. This car was capable of 139 miles an hour right off the showroom floor. If it didn't do it, they said, bring it back, we'll fix it.
Okay, in addition to that, though, they were also pretty special inside, aren't they, Kim?
Very. So many knobs.
Right, it's a little bit like being in a spaceship, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
As a matter of fact, I don't know if this one has it, but many of the big Chrysler luxury boats, high-performance boats, had swivel seats, too.
No, this one doesn't. That was in 60 and 61.
You remember them, though?
Oh, yes. Also, 57 Plymouth, I believe, had them in 50s.
You are correct. And again, I just wanted our audience to see that this is a performance car from a different era, and in a way, I really miss it. I really miss this kind of a performance car. Don't go away. Wait a minute, we want Marche to say that. I want you to look at that camera over there, and I want you to say, folks, don't go away. We'll be right back.
Folks, don't go away. We'll be right back.
A show about Mopars wouldn't be complete without at least one Superbird, and we found a flock of them.
Well, it's pretty obvious that what we've got here is Superbird Row. And Gina, maybe you'd find out what this gentleman's name is and where he's from?
Hi, what's your name?
Lee Kapuska,
And you're from?
Chicago, Illinois.
Chicago, huh? And you come all the way out here for the car show?
Yep.
So?
Okay, quick question. What size engine?
440 4-barrel.
440 single 4-barrel.
Yes.
Okay, don't go away. We'll be back to you. Kim, maybe you'll find out this gentleman's name and where he's from?
Okay, what's your name?
Scott Sparakis, and I'm from Woodridge, Illinois.
Woodridge. How do it's at?
Is that in the United States?
Yes, it is.
I'm only teasing. What size engine?
It's a 440 6-pack, 3 doofus.
See, you said it. I didn't want you to say it. Do you know what 6-packs means?
No, I don't.
We're not telling you. Christine, can you find out the gentleman's name and where he's from?
Okay, would you tell us your name?
Yeah, I'm Brian Crouch from Des Plaines, Illinois.
Okay.
Okay, what engine?
It's got a 440 6-pack. It's originally a 4-barrel car, but it's a 6-pack on there now.
Christine, do you know what that means?
3 2-barrel carburetors?
That's right. Remember I had it on my van?
Right. You tried to have it on your van.
Yes. Remember I almost set my hair on fire?
Right.
Okay, don't go away, guys. Okay, maybe you can find out this gentleman's name and where he's from?
And give us your name, please.
Sure, my name's Mark Skula. I'm from Peru, Illinois.
I didn't catch that. From where?
Peru, Illinois.
Oh, long haul.
About 80 miles.
What kind of engine?
440 4-barrel.
Okay, I am going to talk a little bit about these cars, and I'm going to presume all of you guys know these things. And Lyle Ann, why don't you come with me, because I think you know a considerable amount about Superbirds, don't you? For example, do you have any idea that this kind of a car ever existed? Now I want you to look at the nose, and I want you to look at the big wing on the tail. Can you see it?
I can see it.
Now, why do you suppose they have that?
I would imagine the tail is to regulate to keep the end down, maybe to weight it down.
Well, you've got it right. For sure, it is to add weight to the rear of the car and everything. But this is do you understand that these are standard production cars just the way they are?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what they designed these for is, if you'll notice, and I hope our audience can see this, the nose of this car actually replaces, I don't want to say the original nose because this is the original nose, but these were a special thing that Chrysler Corporation made for Plymouth this year, and they did it for one reason only, because they wanted to be successful at the Daytona 500, the super speedways and NASCAR events. They designed the very special nose for the car and the wing, as a matter of fact, which really doesn't have a great deal of effect until about 135 miles an hour. But after that, it contributes greatly to the stability of the vehicle. I also don't have to tell you that, in fact, let me ask, I bet this gentleman knows, what happened shortly after these came out?
They started winning every race they were in, pretty much, and about 6 or 7 of them were on the poles every time.
And then what happened?
Well, they started losing wings, so they put a cable in there, and then they outlawed them.
I was going to say the outlawed one is the important part. They outlawed it fairly quickly because this was a very effective style. Do you have any idea how many of these were made?
1935, according to the Superbird Club. And a friend of mine in Chrysler works in the computer room. He got all the original serial numbers, and there was 1935 of them.
Okay, so we've got less than 2,000 of these in existence. Do we have any idea how many of them were Hemis?
There were, I believe, about 350 Hemi cars.
That's got to be big bucks now. Not that these aren't.
They're six-figure cars right now.
Six-figure cars for the Hemi cars. Okay, folks, I just thought you would enjoy seeing, this is Superbird Row at this all Mopar car show, and I guess, in a sense, you can't make a stronger statement about the Chrysler Corporation cars. These were hot.
Now let's contrast a pair of Plymouths from different eras.
Hi, my name is Marche, and we're here with Motorsports Unlimited. I would like to get this gentleman's name.
Jim Richardson,
And where are you from?
Willowbrook, Illinois.
Okay. Would you like to come in, Bill, and give us some more information here?
Okay, you're already finding out the hardest part of this job is making sure you do the microphone, right?
Right, okay.
And it's not easy, is it?
No, it's not. I mean, you have to develop that coordination, I guess.
You really do, and it's particularly hard for the girls because part of doing this, and we use our program as a little bit of a training show for the girls that are aspiring models and actresses, and part of it is because it's generally contrary to what most girls have been taught, is that you have to take control. When I talk, I've got it. When I want him to talk, I do that. Okay, now that we got the idea, tell us a little bit about your car.
59 Plymouth Sport Fury. It's got swivel seats, as you can see in here.
Yeah, before we go any farther, as a matter of fact, Kim, remember we were sitting in that Chrysler 300 before, and I was asking about the swivel buckets. These are the swivel buckets I'm talking about. Not a bad idea, is it?
Not at all. Nice.
Yes, this was, again, these were days when they really did make cars.
Right, yeah, there's a lot of steel in the car, no plastic. It's a hard thing to find parts for, but it's a lot of fun, and you got to stay with it.
Okay, I've got to ask the most important question. We know this is the Mopar car show today, all Chrysler product cars, so everybody here is a Chrysler enthusiast. Why?
Well, I think because of the changing styles of cars and I guess the easiest way these cars had class. They had something that the new cars don't have, and that's, I think, style. And
but wait a minute, that begs the question. That you could do that with a Chevy or with a Ford. Why Chrysler cars?
Probably they've always been an underdog. I think number 3. They were always number 3 automaker, and everybody else runs around with number 1. You know, and I think now they're on the these cars are really on the road back. I think there's something that people have finally appreciated what they had back then.
Oh, they're very popular, no question about it. But maybe I'll get my answer to my why Chrysler Corporation question from these folks over here. Now, can you tell us your name?
Bill Dennis.
Okay, Bill, we never talked to the gentleman on Motorsports Unlimited first. We always talk to the pretty girls. Can you tell us your name?
Oh, thank you. I'm Jerry Dennis.
Jerry, when I first directed over here, I was told this was your car.
Oh, well, it belongs to both of us. He's the brains.
Okay, I've got a question to ask. Now, I know that this was not what you would call a muscle car or anything like that, although it had a V8.
No, it wasn't really known as a muscle car, kind of a predecessor to that era. It's what I call a pre-Ralph Nader car, though.
Ah, well said. Very well said. In other words, you could still enjoy this one.
You bet. You can fix it with a pair of pliers and screwdriver, and it runs extremely well. A very simple car, but yet a very, very roadworthy car. A lot of fun to drive.
Okay, question I have. Again, we're here at an all-Chrysler show today, all-Mopar show here today at Oakbrook Terrace. Actually, this is called Oakbrook Terrace Tower, and that's more of a mouthful than I can get out. The question I have is, why Chrysler products?
Well, is there anything else?
Come on, that begs the question.
Well, I think probably if it weren't for Chrysler, Chevy and Ford would not know how to build cars. I think that there's been a lot of good cars built, and they're all manufacturers. But Chrysler by far has the superior engineering and superior forward-thinking ideas about cars. Chrysler engineered so many different things that Ford and Chevy picked up from Chrysler.
There's no question you're right. In fact, it's funny. I often talk to youngsters now, and they don't even realize that Chrysler was one time known as the engineering company. They literally sacrificed most things, including profit margin, to bring engineering innovation into the marketplace.
Absolutely. For years this has been true, and in fact today still is. It's been a Chrysler ideal for years and years and years, going back to hydraulic brakes, alternators, torsion bar suspension, radial tires, power steering, power windows, power seats, swivel seats, which you see in the car next door. Just unique features that Chrysler was able to engineer and market well before the other big three, or the other two of the big three, were able to do it.
Okay, so your enthusiasm then is very definitely directed towards Chrysler Corporation. It's not that this is what you stumbled across. You wanted a Chrysler Products car.
Oh no, I'm in the used parts business, and I see these cars before they're hit. And I don't choose to be the first one at an accident when I'm hit. And I'll drive a Chrysler, sir.
Okay, well said. Thanks for joining us. Lyle Ann, I want you to look over at that camera now, and I want you to say, don't go away, folks. We'll be right back.
Don't go away, folks. We'll be right back.
She does it so much better than I do, doesn't she?
From production cars to race cars, Mopar fans have plenty to choose from. Let's look at a drag racing Plymouth that Bill assures me I'll enjoy.
Hi, we're back again, and this time with
Carmen Mazuka from Wheaton, Illinois.
Wheaton, Illinois. Okay, you raced this car yourself?
Right, it races in the NHRA Supergas circuit for Division III, which is Wisconsin, Illinois, Kentucky, Tennessee, and Ohio.
And you were telling me what kind of race this is?
It races on a time index, a 990 index. All the cars are put on that index and equal, and then it becomes how consistent your car is versus how quick you are at reaction time on the starting line.
Hey, did you do all the work on this yourself?
Not all of it. There is some work done by Chassis Craft and Addison, Step Up Performance in Roselle, and the rest of it was done, in my garage.
Okay, Bill, you have any questions?
Well, I sure do, Gina. A couple things. First of all, this is a Plymouth Arrow, right?
That's correct.
And what kind of an engine?
440 Chrysler.
Okay, so we are dealing with an all-Chrysler product here.
Almost all Chrysler. We have a turbo 400 transmission and a Ford 9-inch rear end.
Okay, why Chrysler products?
Because I work for Chrysler and I drive Chryslers, and I wouldn't race anything but a Chrysler.
Okay, what I want our audience to understand, there really is brand enthusiasm within the motorsport community.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Okay, second thing, I can tell our audience they can't see this, but the workmanship in this thing is absolutely superb, and I understand you've done most of the work at least.
That's correct. Most of it, including the paint job, was done in my garage by myself.
Okay, it's really beautifully done and quite a project. Now, I've got you out here for a specific reason, but don't go away. Gene, I want you to step back just a little bit here. We can't get a camera shot of this, except he's going to drive the car forward and we'll be able to see it. Kim, what do you suppose that is sticking out the back there?
2 wheels? No.
Well, you're right. They're 2 wheels. What are they for?
For when racing, the car won't tip over backwards.
Very good. Wheelie bars. She knew.
Yeah?
And you did too.
Of course.
Okay, well, I guess these girls are getting real motorsport literate now.
I'd like to say one other thing. When we asked about the work, this car couldn't have been put together without the help of a gentleman by the name of Chuck Sigler from Villa Park, Illinois.
Okay, make sure we get those credits in, because I know how hard people work putting things like this together, and we get little enough attention for our efforts. Now, what I'd like you to do is climb in there and fire it up, because we've got a couple of girls up front here that this is the furthest thing in the world that they want to be here, and I want to teach them how to enjoy this. Go right ahead, jump in. Bylan, what do you think? I'm putting you through this now.
Oh, thank you.
You want to hear what this thing sounds like, right?
Certainly.
Okay, Marche?
I think it's great. I mean, I'm all for it.
You think it's great because I didn't have you standing on the at the starting line at Great Lakes Dragaway with the jet cars going by like we did with Lyle Ann, right?
And then having to turn around real quick so you wouldn't get rubber in your eyes. Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, we did that with her. But she will be the first to tell you she was a big hit there, right?
Thank you.
You can go ahead and fire it up.
Very funny, Bill.
What do you think?
It was just wonderful.
Marche, were you prepared for that?
I wasn't prepared for that. No, I wasn't.
What do you think, guys? Did you see how the wheelie bars work?
Yep.
Kim?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, that'd be something nice to go to McDonald's with.
Sure would. The owner might get a little bit mad, but...
While we recover from the excitement of the Plymouth Arrow race car, let's meet some guys that were a wonderful help to us all day long.
And have a look at the magnificent Oakbrook Terrace Tower.
This lovely building that we are standing in front of, perhaps you can tell me what it is?
It's the Oakbrook Terrace Tower.
Oakbrook Terrace Tower, that's kind of a mouthful.
Yeah.
And you are?
Jim Finnis.
And you are?
Dave Garbars.
And?
Jay Young.
Okay, you guys are what, just with the show today?
Yeah.
Or do you work for Oakbrook Terrace Tower all the time?
We work for the City Public Works.
Ah, so you guys, what, summer or just all the time?
Summer help.
Okay, great. We wanted to take a special moment here to thank these guys. I hope we can overcome the audio we're hearing behind it. These guys have got a generator, and they're chasing us around with our camera shots all day, and we wanted you to meet them because we very much appreciate your help, gentlemen. In fact, we'd love to have you at every show we do, right, girls? Okay.
No Mopar show would be complete without a mighty 426 Hemi, and we found a beauty nestled in a Dodge Challenger among a group of Mopar pony cars.
And I'm here with
Bill and Linda.
Bill and Linda, and where are you from?
Chicago.
Chicago. You want to tell me a little bit about your car?
It's a 1973 Challenger. It's got custom interior, 383 Magnum. And we love it.
It's nice. Bill?
Okay, I don't know. Did you get his name?
Yeah.
Okay, because I'm with you. Just talk to the pretty girls, but we got to ask the guys their names too. Otherwise, people get mad at us. Thank you. Okay, Lilan?
Hi, and you are?
Rich Mraz,
And you're from?
Orland Park, Illinois.
I see. And can you tell us a little bit about your car?
It's a 1970 AAR Cuda. They were only built in 1970, and there was 2,724 produced in 70 only.
Oh wow, that's interesting. Do you need?
The car did come from South Carolina.
Oh wow.
Okay, the significant thing there when he's saying from South Carolina means it's a southern car and doesn't have a lot of salt and rust on it and all that. More importantly is this is a very rare 346 pack.
Yes, sir, it is.
Do you have any idea how many of those were built?
2,724.
Very rare. I know it was quite common for the big blocks, but very rare for the small blocks. It's a great car. What does the AAR stand for?
All-American Racer.
Okay, we're talking about the time when they used to run the pony cars on the road racing circuits.
Trans Am Racing in 1970 was Dan Gurney's race team. They called it the All-American Race Team. That's where the AAR came from.
You've got it absolutely correct. Great car. Okay, Christine?
Hi, would you please tell us your name and where you're from?
Ken and Pat Mosier from Indianapolis, Indiana.
Ken, tell us about your car.
It's a 1971 Challenger RT 340 four-barrel shaker car, one of 38 made.
What's a shaker car?
That hood scoop right there and the hood cut out right here.
Oh, okay. Phil, do you have anything else?
I sure do. You know we don't talk to guys on Motorsports Unlimited. We're going to talk to the pretty girls. Why don't you re-explain that shaker hood business?
Shaker
hood? Yeah, I understand you're the expert on it.
Yeah. Don't you want to know what RT stands for?
Go right ahead.
Road and track.
Okay, I will tell you what the shaker hood is. The air cleaner and the air intake is actually attached to the engine, and all you have is the hole in the hood. So when the hood is closed down, as the engine shakes, the air scoop and all that is shaking. That's why it was called a shaker, right?
Right.
That's right.
Okay, thanks for spending a little time with us. It's a great car, it really is. Now, we are going to come back to this one because this is the all-time mighty what?
Mopar.
No. More important word.
Christ, this is
Look on top of the air cleaner.
Challenger.
Hemi. I'll explain it when I get back, okay? Okay, can you tell us your name, sir?
Rex Miltenberger.
Okay, Gina, why don't you get the lady's name?
Pam Miltenberger.
And you are?
Jim.
Where are you from?
Niles, Michigan.
Niles, Michigan. Could you tell me a little bit about your car?
It's a 70 CUDA 383 4-speed with air conditioning, one of 17 built.
And did you do all the work yourself?
Yeah, sure did.
Oh, how did you buy the car? Just
I bought it from a Chrysler dealer in New York about 1982.
Well?
Okay, it's a great car. Obviously, automatic or 4-speed?
4-speed.
Okay, very rare, white interior, red car. It's absolutely beautiful. How long have you had it?
Since 82.
Okay, great car. Thanks for spending a little time with us. I want you to look over here because what we have here is a mighty what?
Hemi.
All right. Marche, find out the gentleman's name and where he's from.
Would you like to give us your name?
My name is Bob Dickinson.
And where are you from?
I'm from Valparaiso, Indiana.
Can you tell us any more information on the car?
Well, it's a 1970 Challenger. It's one of 37 made. It's an RT SE Hemi, which means that it's a special type of engine in it, a very limited production car.
That's great. How about you, Bill?
Yes, and I see you got that microphone business down pat, right? Okay. First of all, mighty Hemi, you know what I'm talking about. This is the final statement of performance cars.
It's the pièce de résistance for Chrysler.
Well, let me go further than that. It's the pièce de résistance for all muscle car. This of all of the muscle car engines and the Pontiacs and the Chevys and the Fords, and there were some brilliant pieces of work. The Hemi was really the final statement of an era.
Well, that is open for a lot of controversy.
Oh, it sounds like I got a Chevy guy standing here. No, the Chevy guys are the only ones that are going to argue about that, but we're not going to listen. I was there when these things were out. When they brought these 426 Hemis out, they were 6 miles an hour faster than anybody else at Daytona.
Yeah, the Daytona, they cleaned house, no doubt about it.
Do you have any idea how many of this particular model was made?
Well, there were 60 of them made total with the RTSE option. 37 of them were automatics, 23 were 4-speeds. This is an automatic.
Do you have any idea how many still exist?
They figure less than half, so that gives you 30 cars. Who knows? I've seen 10 or 12.
$100,000 car?
This one isn't unless it were perfect restoration, then it is.
It's a great car. Thanks for spending a little bit of time with us. Marche, you know what to tell the camera, don't you?
We'll be right back.
Well done.
Before we go any further, let's make sure everyone has introduced themselves.
Hi, I'm Marche Harmon.
And I'm Kim Donahue.
I'm Gina Lisa.
I'm Lyle Ann Seeger.
I'm Chris Schutz.
Now let's meet one of the nicest policemen you'll ever find.
God bless the motorcycle man.
All right, we've got Oakbrook Terrace's finest here, and we on Motorsports Unlimited know the importance of maintaining good relationship with law enforcement officers. Can you tell us your name?
Rick DePompio.
Rick, what do you think? This happens to be Mopar Mania, but Oakbrook Terrace has had a bunch of car shows this year. Have you attended any of them, or all of them, or just this one?
I've been to a few of them this year.
What do you think? How's it going?
I think they're going good. They bring a lot of people in here, and everybody has a lot of good, clean fun, and all the participants have a good time, and they give prizes away. It's great for the community. It's great for the people who have cars like these.
Okay, everyone behaving themselves.
Yeah, everybody's behaving themselves. Everybody's just having good, genuine fun.
Okay, this will give me an opportunity to make my little pitch because I'm 47 years old, as I've said many times in this program. I'm old enough to remember when there were lots of cruising places, and eventually the guys misbehaved and spun the tires and all that, and they got closed down. And what we try to emphasize over and over again in this show is come and enjoy these cars and the camaraderie, but boy, behave yourselves if you want to keep them. Was that fair?
Yeah, that's fair to say. Everybody, just drives away peacefully after the shows. There's no racing. There's no squealing of tires. I grew up My buddies and I used to hang around North Avenue and First Avenue there, and
Skips, you bet.
right. And we lost and won many races over there, but shh. That was a long time ago. No, everybody has good, clean fun here, and we have no problem with the people coming to see the show or the participants in the show whatsoever.
Thanks for spending a little bit of time with us. We appreciate it.
No problem.
Don't go away, folks. We'll be right back.
God bless the motorcycle man. He's doing his thing.
Now let's really shift those gears we talked about as Bill finds himself all alone while we're joyriding.
Well, I'm lost here without the girls, and they apparently have found one of the all-time great Chrysler performance cars. Maybe we can get them back to come back down here into the picture. You're not going to believe what we've found here. When we say that this is a Mopar show, I mean to tell you this is a Mopar show. This is a car that I'm sure all of our high-performance fans will recognize as being one of the all-time great Chrysler Windsors. Now, let's get the girls out and see what they think of this kind of high-performance action. Gina, what'd you think?
Pretty nice.
Did he light the tires up and fishtail and all that?
Not quite, but it was a luxury ride.
Okay, just step back. Kim, what do you think? Better than anything that rolls into McDonald's?
Better than anything, yeah.
Okay. Marche, we've had you sitting in all kinds of cars today. What do you think of this one?
I think this is a classic.
This is great, isn't it? It really is nice. Okay, let me close the door if you just step right over there. Sir, hold on a minute, Christine.
It's amazingly quiet.
Really is. Maybe we can get the gentleman to step on out here. First of all, you are.
Bill Lilliquist.
And where are you from, Bill?
Chicago.
And what kind of car do we have here?
This is a 1949, an early 49 Chrysler Windsor Highlander model, which is the plaid upholstery.
Okay, did you guys know it was the Highlander model?
No.
That means the plaid upholstery. I'm sort of teasing because when I brought you in here, I said the girls have found one of the all-time great Chrysler high-performance cars. Not exactly this one, is it?
It was very quiet, though.
In fact, they were just, Christine, you were just saying how quiet the car was. You were very impressed with how quiet it was. What kind of an engine?
It's a straight six-cylinder.
Okay, we should tell our audience that this was the 49, so this was before the famous Chrysler Hemis in 1951.
Quite a bit before. In 49, the model changed, but they weren't ready in the first part of 49, so this model looked just like the 48s. Finally, around September or so, they came out with the real 49s.
Okay, so this was actually the post-World War II car then?
Correct.
Why Chrysler? Are you a particular Chrysler fanatic, or you just happened to find this one?
I just happened to find this when I've owned Dodges and Plymouths before.
Why Chrysler products? What attracts you?
The old slogan is like engineering, but they just really seem to hold up and have quality and be reliable.
You know, I can tell just standing next to it. First of all, the car is almost dead silent. It is running right now. It's almost dead silent, and I can also catch the aroma of the interior. It used to be like a mohair interior. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Mohair and hog's hair.
Yeah.
Right.
And it really has that fragrance to it, and I must say it takes me back many, many years. Is that why you have it, to get that kind of a feeling?
It is reminiscent of better times in younger days.
I know the feeling. Thanks for spending a little bit of time with us, folks. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
What a great car, and speaking of great cars.
And great folks.
We have to visit with Mayor Cirillo, look at his six-pack Charger, and meet more of the people that helped make Mopar Mania possible. Seeger, welcome back to Motorsports Unlimited. And would you like to introduce yourself to us?
I'm Mayor Cirillo, City of Oakbrook Terrace.
Okay, and is this your car here?
This is my car, Rose.
Your car's name is Rose.
That's right.
Okay, and what type of car is it?
This is a 70 Dodge Charger, 440 six-pack.
Okay, and do you want to introduce us to your little friend here?
This is Lou the dummy. That's what I call her all the time, Lou the dummy.
I bet she likes that name.
She don't say too much. I won't let her.
Huh. That's surprising. And you want to tell us your name?
Sure, I'm Chris Nave.
And you're from?
I'm from Genic Productions, Lockport, Illinois.
And your name?
Andy Sorello. I'm with the City of Oakbrook Terrace Public Works.
I see. Okay. Bill, would you like to come in and ask some questions?
Yes, I sure would. As a matter of fact, Mayor, I expected you to say the one most important thing that you wanted to say. Go ahead.
Nuss Bomber, eat your heart out.
And we'll leave that as an inside joke. Now, let me step, please, in front of your camera shot, and I apologize. Chris, what was your last name again?
My name is Chris Nave.
Chris, despite the name that's almost impossible to pronounce, this is your shebang.
Well, actually, I have done this for 10 years. However, it is sponsored by the Chicagoland Mopar Connection Car Club and the City of Oakbrook Terrace this year.
Everybody tells me that Chris Nave is the one that puts this thing together. Now, are you going to back completely away from that?
Well, do you see the word sucker on my forehead?
It is true. These folks that volunteer so much of their time and energy to make these kind of things happen often go as the unsung heroes, and we never really hear about them. And I, for one, want to step forward and say thank you on behalf of the entire motorsport community. I didn't meet a single person here that wasn't really enjoying themselves today.
Thank you, but I would also like to give credit to the people from Chicagoland Mopar Connection that did help me put together this show, and especially Mayor Sorello and Andy Sorello, who had overextended themselves this weekend to...
Right, I must say that this Oakbrook Terrace thing, and I'm going to correct one thing right now, and I know this is near and dear to your heart, Mayor Sorello. Oakbrook Terrace, the Oakbrook is one word, right?
That's correct.
And that's important.
Very important.
I've heard that that's very important to you, that Oakbrook Terrace, the Oakbrook is one word. What position do you serve in Oakbrook Terrace?
I'm the foreman for the Public Works Department.
So you have a lot to do with all this sort of thing.
Yes, we do.
Let me ask you something. This is an absolutely beautiful structure, and Chuck, I won't ask you to pan around to get it, but this is an absolutely beautiful structure, this Oakbrook Tower. Does this have anything to do with the village, or is it... Oh, wait just a minute. I'm going to get in trouble with the mayor, and that is not going to happen. Say it again.
That's the Oakbrook Terrace Tower.
Okay, does it have anything to do with Oakbrook Terrace, or is it a private establishment?
This is a private business. It's a commercial establishment.
But I'm sure it couldn't have happened without the cooperation of the Oakbrook Terrace and all that?
That's correct. Everybody had a hand in it.
Okay, does anyone want to say anything? We're at the end of the show here today. Does anybody want to say anything or comment on anything before we go?
Well, I'm looking forward to that for next year, that if we can have the show here again, and again, that Chris thanked us, and I certainly want to thank Chicagoland Mopar Connection, Chris Nev in particular working on it, yourself, Bill. I think above all, you probably have to thank all the participants. They're the ones that make the shows.
There's no question about it. They put all the work building these cars and preparing them and all that to show them off, and actually they're the entertainment. One final question. You've got another Oakbrook Terrace car show coming up. When is it?
That's on September 8th, and that's on a Saturday afternoon from 3 to 9 p.m.
Okay, and I want to remind our audience, we're going to be there on that. That's the last one, right? Or is that the second? No, okay.
We have one more on October 21st, which is a Sunday. That's an 8 to 4 show.
Okay, the October 21st is the one that we're going to be at, and I want to remind folks that we're talking about...
no, I think you're coming September 8th.
Wait a minute, Chris is telling me we're coming September 8th?
September 8th.
When Chris tells me we'll be there, we'll be there. And where is it?
This is at the corner of Roosevelt and Summit, which is about a mile west of 83, right around Roosevelt Road.
And I want to tell our audience the important thing about this is a community-sponsored car show. It's not put on by private businesses or anything. It's actually the community that got together that sponsors this thing, and I understand it's working out very well.
So far, it's worked out very good for us, Bill.
Okay, thank you so much. Thanks to all of you. Folks, I don't know if we have anything to add after that. If not, we'll see you again next week.
Can I try one more?
Wait a minute.
Let me thank Jimmy and Mano over there for providing the music for us here all yesterday and today, and always at our car shows on the weekend.
Okay, Jimmy Mano, hopefully we're going to do a little piece with him, and maybe that's a better way to thank him, huh? Say what?
Mopars or die.
Oh, and so these guys are Mopar fans on top of it. Oh my God. Okay, folks, don't go away. We'll be right back. Maybe that's more appropriate because I never know if we're finished or not.
That's it for this week.
We'll have more Mopar Mania in a future show.
See you next week.
Motorsports Unlimited is produced by Bill Wildt, president of the Motorsport Advancement Crusade.
This program made possible in part by support from ABC Auto Parts, located at 138th and Ashland Avenue in Blue Island.
Got Jimmy Mano here again. Jimmy, welcome back to Motorsports Unlimited. It's been a little bit of a while, but apparently you're involved in all these Oakbrook Terrace car shows.
Well, it looks that way. I'm here.
Okay, I've got an important question to ask you. The Oakbrook and Oakbrook Terrace, how many words?
Great.
Huh? How many words?
How many words?
Yeah, the Oakbrook and Oakbrook Terrace, how many words? And you better know this.
2.
Chris, is he fired?
Everyone knows that Oakbrook is one word.
Oakbrook Terrace.
It's especially important to the mayor of Oakbrook
Now he
Terrace.
asked me, right?
Anyhow, what did you do here today?
Just played something for everybody. Try to make a good selection, you know, some rock.
We
some
should
stuff.
remind our audience that you're a DJ, and
Right.
you're a guy that works with the plastic instruments and kind of performs along with it.
We kind of fool around with the toy sax and the guitar, and just try to be entertaining. Keep it upbeat. Keep everybody happy.
Okay, this is a nice show, and these guys certainly make their contribution to the show. Let me get your friend's name in here, too.
Bob Lofendo.
What is it?
Bob Lofendo.
And you were on last time.
Yes, I was.
Okay, and I should tell our audience that they're not at all camera hogs because they didn't even see the show that they were on, right?
Right. I even got the T-shirt this time. I guess I'm a real member.
Yes, as a matter of fact, I understood that you were something of a Hemi expert.
No, not quite.
A 340 expert?
No.
A 440 expert?
No, a DJ expert.
Folks, this is more of part of the enjoyment of these car shows, and before the summer is over, I would really encourage anyone, you don't even have to have an interest in cars to come to these places and enjoy themselves, and it's free. It doesn't cost a dime. I can't think of a better way to spend an afternoon. Don't go away. We'll be right back. For those interested in watching Motorsports Unlimited being taped, we'll be at Fluky's in Niles August 25th, Stratz September 2nd, Oakbrook Terrace September 8th, and McDonald's on River Road in Belmont in Franklin Park September 16th. Give us a call for more details. As always, thanks to the lovely ladies that participated in this edition of Motorsports Unlimited: Gina Lisa, Kim Donahue, Marche Harmon, Lila Ann Seeger, and Chris Schutz. And let's not forget our talented Motorsports Unlimited crew: Chuck Hitzenthaler, Paul Marchese, Mike Sabatino, John Platania, Bill Moore, Matt Matthias Jr., and Tammy Matthias. Some of our girls' makeup was done by Clarice Loecno. Special thanks to Jerry Bryan and the folks at Chicago AV. And of course, thanks to Fireside Recording Studios in Westchester, Illinois, and the talented Roger Pauley and Jerry Herbert for providing music for Motorsports Unlimited. Watch for the rest of Mopar Mania in a future show.
This program made possible in part by support from Auto Magic Body Shop located in Franklin Park.
The Motorsport Advancement Crusade is a nonprofit organization dedicated to the preservation and enhancement of motorsport. We are entirely funded by voluntary contribution. For more information, you can write Motorsport, or you can write the whole thing if you'd like, Motorsport Advancement Crusade, but mail us to us just fine, addressed Motorsport, P.O. Box 66242, Chicago, Illinois 60666, or just call it 1-312-478-4224. We enjoy hearing from our audience, and we encourage you to call or write.
So that's it, another edition of Motorsports Unlimited and the lovely ladies of motorsports. And be with us next week because we'll have something real exciting. Bill Wildt's going to have the lovely ladies, and just about anything can happen right here on Motorsports Unlimited. Every week at this time, we bring you the best in motorsports. So be seeing ya. Bye-bye, and keep on rocking.